Howdy folks, I'm Rebecca Jolly, the Jolly Alchemist. Today I am going to do a neutrino forecast for Thursday, the 16th of October, 2025. We're looking at the cross of the Maya today in the third line. So we're looking at that line of trial and error, mistakes, bonds being made and broken, this idea of grasping the nettle, and then the nettle is prickly, so we let go of it, and learning from this mistakes, being able to capitalize on the mistakes. And there's a specific piece about actually being able to capitalize on the mistakes in today's transit. But it feels to me sometimes like time moves faster on some days than others. And it seems like today is one of those days where time is moving kind of slow. So I'm like, okay, well, I could definitely roll with it, take advantage of it, but it's weird. I had to spend some time really trying to get a grip on what's going on with these energies. Am I going crazy? Is this like bizarre? But I figured out that part of it was because we have the first gate happening in Mercury and also in Mars. So I got kind of confused about all that going on there when it was so close to each other. But I think I got it figured out, so let's dive in. 32, line 2 is indecision, according to 64 keys, and I actually like that better than Ra's name, which is lack of continuity. So we are talking about this 32nd gate, duration, continuity, stability through changes as a recipe for success. And then, of course, here in this third line, you're looking at the ability to do exactly the opposite of that, to not be contiguous, to not be able to stay stable through changes, to be plagued by indecision in times of changes. Oh, because the 32 is always looking towards the 54, which is the marrying maiden, the one who's ambitious, the one who wants to rise up. And so it's always wondering like, oh, should I partner with this person? Should I not? Should I do my own thing? That third line, that real indecision. So yeah, that's why I like that name better, because continuity is not a word that I find it's hard to grasp. It's hard to sink your teeth into a word like continuity. Continuity, it's just like, well, just going, without really understanding the nature of what that means practically for people. So yeah, Ross says that this line endures because of its basic intelligence. And it says that this line is one of many, and he doesn't go into details, of course. You have to listen to 17,000 hours of him talking to get that detail, but whatever. It's one of the gates of intelligence, and having this gate is a sign of intelligence. I was just like, okay, very interesting there, but you can see it. And there's a couple of ways to see that, because we have, of course, in the spleen, they're all gates of intelligence. It's a center of intelligence. It's body intelligence. But then, of course, we also have mental intelligence, and we also have at least potential emotional intelligence here. At least a sort of a preforming. Ross says we won't have true emotional intelligence until after 2027, when people are starting to be born with the mutation coming out of this center. So then they will be able to be truly emotionally intelligent. What we now have is a forerunner of emotional intelligence. Fine. Any way you cut it, those could all be emotion or intelligence gates of one kind or another. So, okay, fine. But I definitely think there is a kind of intelligence in being able to find success by staying stable through changes. That makes a lot of sense to me. So, okay. But this one is a difficult line for people to have. Apparently, he says everything gets prolonged while they sit on the fence and try to decide what they're going to do. And so, yeah, in times of transformation, it can be difficult for them to figure out which way it is they actually want to go. The Earth is at 42, line 3. 42 is this gate of maturity, cyclical growth, that the endings of the learning process. And it's called trial and error, to accept mistakes in the process of growth. So what he's talking about here is being able to take mistakes and turn them to our advantage, specifically mistakes that have to do with the life as a learning process. Yeah, we learn by mistakes. And a lot of times what happens is we stigmatize both the mistakes and the people who make the mistakes as if they shouldn't. And that's not practical. That's not workable. We learn by mistakes. So we need mistakes. It's kind of like me in playing these video games with my daughter. I have this fear of dying. And, it's a fear. Yeah. I get it, all that. It gives me an opportunity to work on my own existential fears. It really does. But my daughter's attitude is really different. She's like, yeah, it's okay. You die, then okay, that's the limit. That's the hard limit. I can't jump that far. All right. Dying taught me that. So now I can come back and do it again. And I have definitely difficulties getting to that point of just like, okay, I'll die, I'll just start again. So it's very interesting. Of course, I have a fourth color of needs, and that transfers to fear. So in my not self, I can be fearful of changes and death in a video game. So anyway, he talks about, and this is what I thought was really interesting, illness as part of a growth process in children. He says, if you ever had a young child who was ill, they ran a fever, and then you measure them 2 days later and they've grown. And I thought, no, I never did that. That sounds fascinating. I wish I had a kid so I could watch them have a fever and measure their little bodies growing afterwards. But yeah, I never did it. But what a fascinating idea that is. And he really posits that illness, mistakes, all these things, it's fine. And you have this gift here in this third line of 42 of really being able to accept it. It's a part of the growth process. I'm going to learn from it. It's all right. Well, way to empower that little aspect that a lot of people tend to think of as a bug. This person is going to be making so many mistakes in their lives, blah, blah, blah. But no, he's like, hey, that's cool. This person is really going to get wise by making a bunch of mistakes. Hopefully they'll make mistakes that other people haven't made, huh? So, moving on. Our moon starts at 4, line 6. That's patience. The fourth gate is this one. You see a little tiny activation that I have there. Youthful folly. So that's being willing to take the skepticism that's coming in from the other side and make an experiment with it. I had an idea. I don't know if it's right. Let's do something and see if we can figure that out. So that's what the fourth gate is about. And it will move into 29 when it's done with that. So that's the gate of commitment here. In the channel of discovery, you commit to something and then you can discover something new in that because you put yourself in the right time and place. Okay, and after 29, then the moon will be moving through 59. So this is our roll gate of sexuality, the different ways we physically connect with other people. All right, and that 29 will be making a connection in the body today because the 29 will connect with the 46 that we have going in Venus, so that we will get both sacral definition and G definition for the whole entire world for that period of like 8 hours or so. How long is an actual gate through the moon? we're looking at like 5 o'clock to about maybe 15, so it might even be closer to 10 hours. So a goodly amount of the day. All right, so that's the moon, our first people energy. Our second people energy is Mercury. Oh, yes, Mercury. And that clocks in at 1 line 1. And of course, that is a manifestation with unforeseeable timing. Like I said, we have this first gate appearing twice today, so it was a little bit confusing for me separating them. So we got a lot of yang energy, a lot of very creative, forward, assertive kind of energy happening today, because we will have the 1-1 in Mercury, and that will move also into 1-2, which is ideals, expressions conditioned by beauty and ideals. And then in Mars, we'll have that ringing in at 1 line 4, which is solitude as the medium of creativity. So, a lot of 1. Our Venus is going to be in 46-6, and it'll be running to the end of that. Integrity to reject restrictions. And I believe I actually carry that line. I do. Didn't we look at that recently? Golly, well, let me just take a look at this real quick to see where we were going through that so recently. So we were talking, oh, it must have been further back. We were talking about the nature of luck. Okay, yeah, 46-6. Real wisdom, be in the experience, then collective sharing. Ah, yes, the teacher of experience. So not an obvious success, but someone who's really interested in what can make success possible. All right, so we already talked about the Mars energy being in 1-4, and tomorrow, not today, we will have a little bit of a global shift, just a line shift, not a gate shift. So the basic energy is the same. All right, so we talked about the connection being made there between the 46 and the 29 today. Of course, there's a very good chance that something will be connected in your own body by the energy of the transit, but we never actually look at that. You know, it's one of those things where when you're looking at your chart, you see a picture like this, okay? And you think, oh, this is my energy. This is, this is how it looks. But the truth is, you're never, ever going to experience your body just like this. What this is a picture of the pieces of you that are actually stable because they're based on the configuration of the imprints that have been made in your body. So, okay, you have imprints, but every moment of your entire life after that, you have other energies shifting and rolling, and this is why we say everyone has everything, just not all the time. These transit energies, these numbers that we're going through every day, these are just the energies that are washing like a tide through our bodies against the background of our definition, which is our stability amongst all of that shifting energy. So, there's that. Today's song is In My Veins by Andrew Bell. He's definitely talking about indecision. He's definitely talking about trial and error. And of course, he's also talking about, love lost and a little whiny, like, oh, I'll never have you. I lost you for good, blah, blah, blah. But in terms of the lyrics, what a good fit. I liked that one. So check it out if you want to. Not my favorite song in the world, but definitely a song that fits with this excuse me, theme of indecision in trial and error as we're trying to learn and grow and find some way to success for ourselves. So that is it for today. Come back tomorrow where we will get into the 4th line and move into that juxtaposition cross. This time it is of conservation. So That's all good. If you want to know more about your specific body graph and how the transits affect you, either on a daily basis or, say, a forecast for what your next year will be like, a yearly transit, or even longer cycles, planetary cycles, Uranian cycles, Saturnian cycles, Chiron cycles, all those kinds of things we can get into in a detailed reading if you come see me at jollyalchemy.com. So, until then, or until tomorrow, you take care. Ciao.